transfer to Manchester United now.
Football prediction.
If Power Rangers know, Ipswich Town 1.
A football prediction.
Hi, it's Peter Guest, and I'm here with the Moose for another episode of the footballpredictions.net podcast covering German Bundesliga games for the 2nd to the 4th of May, 2025. And you can see the details for all the matches we're about to discuss in this podcast on our website. Click the links in the description and you'll be able to go to it. And it's footballpredictions.net where you can see fixtures from just about every other football competition in the world as well.
Yeah, and on our website, it will show you where to watch the games on local broadcast channels, plus video streaming services, as well as team news and match shots from local bookmakers. Look in the description of this podcast episode for direct clickable links to all of the matches we are about to discuss. If you're streaming any matches on Bet365, geolocation and live streaming rules apply. 18 plus, gamble aware.
And first up, we've got Heidenheim, who are in 16th, taking on lowly Bochum in 18th. It's on Friday, the 2nd of May, 7:30 p.m. UK time. That is kickoff. And click the link in the description of this podcast and you'll be able to find your localized kickoff time, odds, and available viewing options. This one in the UK, you can actually watch on Sky Sports. But if you want to stream it, you can see it on Bet365. And to qualify for that, all you need is any funds in your account or to have placed a bet with them in the last 24 hours. Sign up, of course, with the bonus code FP365. Well, Moose, Heidenheim, after looking good and then having a terrible 3 in a row losses, came up with the goods.
Yeah, they won at Stuttgart. That was a great win for Heidenheim in that game. And actually what it means is this game is going to be really, really key game. We've got 3 games left. Bochum kind of already down, but the 6 points gap between these two teams. What it means is if Heidenheim picks up even just a point from this game, then Bochum is finally down because Heidenheim is in that relegation playoff spot. They've only got 3 points down to Holstein Kiel. But yeah, a win against Bochum, that will doom Bochum. Then Bochum is down and Heidenheim is looking good for that playoff spot. They can still catch Hoffenheim, 5 points off Hoffenheim. So this is a great opportunity. And surely that win last weekend at Stuttgart will have given them some confidence going into this one against a Bochum team that really is pretty much have surrendered their Bundesliga life, so to speak. No wins in 6, but they did pull off a draw last week at home to Union Berlin. But yeah, no wins in 6, and it's been quite a disappointing season for Bochum. Only 4 wins all season. Going to Heidenheim is not going to be easy. Ironically, Bochum has 1 win away from home all season, and that was at Bayern Munich. I mean, what a win that was. Down 2-0 and beating them 3-2. Bayern Munich has just 2 defeats all season, but then in the last 2 away matches where Bochum went to Leverkusen, lost 3-1. We had that bang on and it's a correct score. We had 3-1 in that game, and then they went to Werder Bremen in the last away game, lost 1-0. We had Werder Bremen to win that game. We did have under 2.5 goals last week in the game against Union Berlin. We knew it was going to be a low scoring game, under 2.5 goals. It ended 1-1. If we just cap off with Heidenheim, the home team, now their home form hasn't been brilliant exactly either this season. They have picked up 3 wins. Most recently, they beat Holstein Kiel, but then they've lost 2 matches in between Kiel and then this Bochum game, which was against Leverkusen and Bayern Munich. So some really tricky home games there. And yeah, as you said, they have 3 defeats in a row, but it was against Leverkusen, Frankfurt, and Bayern Munich, the top 3 of the Bundesliga before that win at Stuttgart. So they might be forgiven for having lost those 3, because on the other side of that little run of games, they beat Wolfsburg away and Holstein Kiel at home. So I think overall, Heidenheim looks fairly good here compared to Bochum.
Yeah, it's looking at that way for sure. But, something a little bit mindful that people should be is that Heidenheim haven't actually won against Bochum in their last 8 league matches. Ooh. So they have a terrible record against them. But, all good things must come to an end, mustn't they? So leading into this, we think could be a bit of a slugfest because obviously both teams really, really want to win and could be quite open, as in, I guess they both don't want to lose, but they both really do want to win. So they'll be trying to do that. And both teams to score is what we've picked for this one. 1.62 are the odds you can get for that. But we do think it will be a Heidenheim win in the end. 2.3 are the odds you can get at the moment. And looking at the correct score, we've gone for 2-1 to the home side. And those odds are 9.5. So it's pretty good, actually, for that. We've got the other odds for you here. The away team, if you thought they could win, you can get odds of 3.1. Like I said, Heidenheim 2.3 and a draw 3.4. So it's all very close. Could go either way, couldn't it? But we have pinned our hopes on a home win. Next up, we have RB Leipzig, who are in 5th, taking on Bayern Munich in 1st. It's on Saturday, the 3rd of May, 2:30 in the afternoon, UK time. Look at the link in the description of this podcast and you'll be able to find the localized kickoff time and all the odds and streaming channels for the game. This one you can watch on Sky Sports Mix in the UK, but it's also available to stream live on Bet365 to qualify for that. All you need is any funds in your account or just to have placed a bet with them in the last 24 hours. And when you join them, use that bonus code FP365. So, yes, not been looking great the last couple of matches for Leipzig, but Bayern Munich have sprung back to life, haven't they?
Yeah, they have 2 wins in a row. And to be honest, they have not been beaten now for the last 6 games in the Bundesliga. And to be honest, only 2 defeats all season for Bayern Munich. So we should probably have a look at how convincing they've been in the last couple of games, where they beat Heidenheim 4-0 away and most recently Mainz 3-0 at home. We had that when we had 3-1, we thought Mainz were going to score a goal, but it ended 3-0 to Bayern Munich. We also picked them as winners away to Heidenheim. Of course, Bayern Munich have the disappointment of being knocked out of the Champions League to Inter Milan in between. But this weekend, just a point will be enough really for Bayern to win the championship. They have a 30-plus difference in goal difference on Bayer Leverkusen. And with just 3 games left, it's probably unrealistic that Leverkusen would do that. But I'm sure Bayern would want to win this in style and actually win at Leipzig, because like you said, Gersti, Leipzig has not been that convincing this year, actually, because if we look at Leipzig since they came back from that winter break, Leipzig has only won 5 games, and that's not enough if you want to finish in the Champions League spots. They are just 2 points off Freiburg in 5th position, or Freiburg in 4th, who sits on 51 points. Leipzig in 5th with 49 points, and they have a better goal difference, Leipzig. So there's still hope for them, but they're going into this game now against Bayern Munich. And they then have Werder Bremen away and Stuttgart at home. So a fairly tricky schedule coming up. But yeah, and against Bayern, they'll be looking to sealing that championship this weekend. If we look at Leipzig, I mean, last weekend, a 4-0 defeat at Frankfurt. Frankfurt sitting obviously above them in the table. They're sitting in 3rd, and that pretty much sealed Frankfurt's spot in the Champions League for next season. So they'll be happy with that. From a Leipzig perspective, they then had a disappointing draw in the last home game against Holstein Kiel. That ended 1-1, but then he had a couple of wins against Wolfsburg and Hoffenheim, and then defeat in the DFB Pokal against Stuttgart and in the Bundesliga against Gladbach. So yeah, overall, Bayern Munich obviously been very consistent this season in the Bundesliga, looking to win the championship this weekend. And do we think they will do that?
Well, Bayern Munich are undefeated in the last 7 matches away from home, and you'd think they'd be able to come away with at least a point from this, which could give them what they need. I think they'll obviously be wanting to go for all 3 points, but yeah, we think it'll be a really good game. Bayern Munich obviously be desperate for it. We're tipping them to win. 1.65 is the odds you can get for them. And we also think it's going to be both teams to score. You can't get as good odds for that, actually. You're going to get 1.4. So the bookies think that both teams will score by the looks of it. And we've gone for a correct score, actually, like a couple of goal win to the away side. So we think it's going to be Leipzig 1, Munich 3. And the odds for that, a correct score, are 12. So 11-1 is what you can get for that, which is pretty good. The odds for a home win for Leipzig, 4.5, and a draw, 4.33. So really, Bayern Munich are odds on to win this at 1.65. Yeah. And we hope for them and for Harry Kane picking up his first trophy of his career. It will be a great moment. Anyway, let's move on to Borussia Mönchengladbach, who are in 9th, taking on Hoffenheim, who are 15th. It's on Saturday, the 3rd of May, 2:30 in the afternoon in the UK. And this one you can stream on Bet365, of course. To qualify for that, all you need is funds in your account or to have placed a bet in the last 24 hours. When you join, use the bonus code FP365. Now, it's not been looking very good for either of these sides of late, has it?
No, very inconsistent form shown by both sides. Hoffenheim's actually still really need the points at the bottom of the Bundesliga. They are just 5 points above Heidenheim on that relegation playoff. They do have a better goal difference, but they still may need a few points because, like we said, Heidenheim does have that game against Bochum this weekend. If they win that and Hoffenheim loses this, there's only a 2-point difference with 2 games to go. So that's very key for them to get something potentially to avoid dropping into that relegation spot. But yeah, for Borussia Mönchengladbach, the season's pretty much over. There is still a slight chance that they could finish in the European places, but with their form at the moment, it looks very unlikely. Borussia Mönchengladbach has lost the last 3 games despite scoring 6 goals. They've managed to lose all 3 of the last games last time out. An away game to Holstein Kiel ended 4-3 to Holstein Kiel. We had both teams to score as our main prediction for that one, and I think that was a fairly accurate prediction considering the amount of goals that we had in that game. We also had both teams to score when Gladbach went to Dortmund and lost 3-2. Before that, they had the Freiburg at home. They lost 2-1 that game. We predicted the draw at St. Pauli for when Gladbach went there to pick up a point. And the last win was end of March. It was against Leipzig, a 1-0 win at home. So there, the last win was a home game. And to be honest, the beginning of the season, Gladbach looked like picking up quite a few points at home. But more recently, they lost 3 of the last 4. And the only win was against that game against Leipzig. If we look at Hoffenheim, and especially away from home this season, yeah, they picked up 3 wins, but they have now 3 defeats in a row at St. Pauli, Leipzig, and Freiburg last time out. Their most recent game was a home defeat to Dortmund, where our prediction was both teams to score and a Dortmund win. So we were correct on that one. We had the outcome when they lost at Freiburg. Oh, yeah. Prior to that Dortmund game. But overall, 2 very inconsistent teams. This is not an easy game to predict.
No, it isn't. So you could expect the unpredictable, perhaps. Mönchengladbach have been on a bit of a shocking run, haven't they? But, we think they did in that last game, they lost 4-3, but they still scored 3 goals. And they have been scoring goals. They've scored, 12 in the last 6. So they're capable of it. And, Hoffenheim are kind of bowing out now. They're kind of on the bit of a downward slide, aren't they? We can't see them getting anything from this game. We think it might be a bit of a one-way traffic. So we've gone for an over 2.5 goals tip. So they're a 1.44. And we think it'll be a Gladbach landslide. We've gone for them to win by a big margin. For them to win, you can get 2.05, which is pretty good in terms of value. But we think it's going to be 3-0. I know it's a bold one. If it comes off, though, you can pick up odds of 21 for that correct score. So 20-1 to get a 3-0 win to the home side. We hope that comes true and then make everybody happy. Next up, we've got, let's have a quickly look at the odds for all the teams, both the teams. 2.05 for the win, the home win, 4 for a draw, and 3.2 for the away win, if that could happen. Next up, we have Union Berlin in 13th, take on Werder Bremen in 8th. And it kicks off on Saturday, the 3rd of May at 2:30 in the afternoon. And, of course, click the link in the description of this podcast. You better find your local kickoff time, odds, and available viewing options. This one you can stream on Bet365. To qualify for that, all you need is any funds in your account or to have placed a bet with them in the last 24 hours. You can sign up using the bonus code FP365, of course. Well, this is been a very interesting run, isn't it? Union Berlin have drawn their last 3, and Werder Bremen drew their last 1.
Yes, but prior to that, Werder Bremen had actually won 5 of the last 6, and what it means is they are only 2 points from the European places here. So they have 2 points up to Dortmund in 6th. They have 3 points to Leipzig in 5th. So they're very much on here for a good shout of Europe. They're going to go to Union Berlin. It's a team who actually haven't got that much to play for. If anything, they have sort of been cementing their place in the Bundesliga for next season with their little run of 7 games unbeaten. So this is, again, it's a tricky game. These are two informed teams that are meeting here. Union Berlin has been very hard to beat over the last 7, and they've played some decent opponents, because over those last 7 games, they have played the top 3. They won at Frankfurt, and then they drew at home to Bayern Munich, and they drew away to Bayer Leverkusen. So that's very important to note the teams that has actually been in this little run that Union Berlin is on. But yeah, 3 draws in a row now. Last time out, we had under 2.5 goals as our main prediction when they went to Bochum and got a draw. And prior to that, their last home game ended in a crazy 4-4 game. And not only that, all 8 goals were scored in the first half of that game as well. So just to add a little bit of spice to that result. If we look at Werder Bremen, like we said, unbeaten in 5 wins from their last 7 now. They only have 1 defeat in there, which was at home to Borussia Mönchengladbach. Away from home, they won the last 3 in a row. They won at Stuttgart, they won at Holstein Kiel, and then they had a very impressive away win at Bayer Leverkusen. Leverkusen only lost 2 games all season, and one of those were that Werder Bremen home game where Werder Bremen went there and beat them 2-0. Now, as for our predictions, we've had, out of the last 5 matches, we've had 3 outcomes on Werder Bremen. So we've been looking fairly good on the prediction side, actually, in terms of both teams here, also on the goals market. So we might be onto something when we are predicting this one.
Yeah, I mean, Werder Bremen have hit the back of the net 10 times in the last 6 games. Union Berlin have scored 9, so they can score goals. So it's an average of about 1.5 goals a game. But yeah, obviously in the last one, Werder Bremen didn't score, so we think it's probably time that they would on the law of averages. And of course, Union Berlin, similarly, they get the they haven't only not scored in 1 of the last 6. So we think both teams will score in this one. So we've gone for that. Both teams to score odds of 1.67, but it's going to be. We think it's going to be close. We know that Union Berlin they happy to give the opponents possession. I think they only had 34% possession in their last game, but we've gone for a draw because we can't separate them. Odds they're very good at 3.6. So see if you can get onto that. For the correct score, we've gone for 1-1. The correct score odds of 1-1 you can get at the moment are 7, so not that great for a correct score, but that probably indicates the bookies think it's likely as well. Give you the odds for all of them. This is how tight it is. 2.63 for Union Berlin, 3.6 for the draw, and 2.45 for the away side in Werder Bremen. So they're slight favourites, very slight favourites, Werder Bremen to win. But basically, it's going to be tight whatever happens. So we shall see. So let's move on to a summary game. St. Pauli in 14th taking on Stuttgart, who are 11th. And it's on Saturday, the 3rd of May, 2:30 in the afternoon, UK time. You can stream this one on Bet365 to qualify. All you need is funds in your account or to have placed a bet with them in the last 24 hours. Don't forget to use that bonus code FP365 on sign up. Now, for this one, we've gone for a bit of a bore draw. We think it'll be an under 2.5 goals game, and we've gone for no goals. St. Pauli 0, Stuttgart 0.
Yeah, moving on to Dortmund in 6th, who takes on Wolfsburg in 12th. This game kicks off Saturday, 3rd of May at 5:30 UK time. This game you can also watch on Bet365, and in order to qualify, all you need to do is to have a funded account or place the bet in the last 24 hours. And when you sign up, if you're a new customer, use that bonus code FP365. If you're based in the UK, this game will also be live on Sky Sports Football. Now, for this game, we are going to go with a home win for Dortmund. We're going with both teams to score prediction and a correct score of Dortmund 3, Wolfsburg 1.
Next up is Augsburg in 10th, taking on Holstein Kiel, who are 17th. Sunday, the 4th of May is when it kicks off. It's at 2:30, again in the afternoon. It's on Sky Sports Mix here in the UK. You can watch it, of course, as well on Bet365, and to qualify for the stream, all you need is any funds in your account or to have placed a bet with them in the last 24 hours. Sign up using the bonus code FP365. Now, similarly to the last game, we think this could be a good home win. We've gone for both teams to score, and we've gone for the correct score of Augsburg 3, Holstein Kiel 1.
Yep, and moving on to another Sunday game here, Sunday 4th of May at 4:30 UK time. We've got Freiburg in 4th, against Leverkusen in second. That should be a good game. And this game you can watch again. You can watch it on Bet365. In order to qualify, all you need is to have a funded account or place to bet in the last 24 hours. When you sign up, use that bonus code FP365. This game, if you're based in the UK, is also screened on Sky Sports Football. Now for this game, we're going to go with a tight game. We're going to go with an away win for Leverkusen, but an under 2.5 goal prediction and a correct score of Freiburg 0, Leverkusen 1.
Finally, it's Mainz, who are in 7th, taking on Frankfurt, who are 3rd. It's at 6:30 on Sunday evening, that's UK time, and we think this could be a very close game. We've gone for both teams to score, we've gone for a draw, and we've gone for a correct score of 2-2. This one is on Sky Sports Plus, and you can also stream it on Bet365, of course, and any of the live streaming you have with them, use the bonus code FP365 when you sign up. And to qualify to watch them all you need is funds in your account or to have placed a bet with them in the last 24 hours. Geolocation and live streaming rules apply. Full details are available on the Bet365 website. 18 plus, gamble aware.
Yes, and in the description section of this podcast, you can find links to all the games we've just been discussing, or just go directly to the footballpredictions.net website. Why do that? Well, that's where you can browse all the online sources to watch the games from your location via streaming and TV channels, our tips for different betting markets, team news, as well as the latest offers and odds.
And if you like this, we record football podcasts for a number of competitions, as well as Bundesliga, and you can hear them at podcast.footballpredictions.net or where you normally access your favorite podcasts from, like YouTube, Apple, and Spotify. That is it. Thank you for joining us. And for now, it is.
Cheers.
Auf Wiedersehen.
I thought both.